Hey people, welcome. Coming to you live and direct from the home mats. Let me just lift this camera up a little bit so we get to see all of us. Yes, sir.
Us.
Hey people, welcome one and all. Coming at you live and direct. And hope everybody's ready for today's drills. So, after much thought and consideration about the different things that we can talk about, and so many things to discover in jiu-jitsu. So today we're going to talk about a position that happens quite a bit, a situation that happens a lot in fighting. When you're fighting to pass the guard or get to a superior position. Some drills from there, submission attempts and options, and then what we're going to do at the end is I'll show you guys some of the solo drills that I do sometimes. If it's just me, you can practice by yourself, whether you're at home if you don't have a training partner, or if you have if you have a dummy. So if you have that big man-looking thing that's stuffed with fluff, you can use that for so many drills. But we'll talk about that later.
They use like a boxing
bag,
but
right?
Keep it on the floor.
You could. So it could be used for so many drills. That you can use cushions. Again, I'll talk about that near the end of the video. So I want to make sure people are tuned in. What's up, Riz? We are here before dark. Who's we?
Hello, guys. Paul is with me. Hi, Paulsy.
That's all right. As long as there's two. Okay, so we're going to start in a position where I'm almost getting to the side control, and then we're going to go at it from there. So if you lay down, head facing there. Head facing there. Head facing there. Head facing.
Oh, head facing.
So if we're here, so we're going to down. So if I'm in here, getting to the point where I'm almost at side control, okay? And my opponent is going to go for an underhook escape, where she shoots her arm underneath, whereas if I just let her be with just normal resistance, she can come up and get my single leg or even go to my back, right, and start attacking me over here. So I've been doing this drill quite a bit. This is the day I learned it. So the moment that I feel the underhook is coming, okay, I don't react too strong, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my hand over here, right against the hip. As soon as the underhook comes in, I block the hip with my hand. Okay? Naturally, she wants to keep going as if she wants to come up and attack the single leg or come up for her back. Now what I do from here, I get the hand on the hip, this leg comes up here, posted. Next, I'm going to drop my knee over her head in this pocket over here. So the knee drops, and I'm going to spin all the way to the other side. Underhook here, I start spinning, and then this right elbow is going to come in here, right under the armpit. So I drop my knee, elbow comes in over the armpit, and I just spin until I get to the other side. Nice and tight, okay? Make sure you got a little bit of space so she can slowly turn, come in, and do exactly, come in for the underhook on the other side. So block the hip, leg up, elbow comes in into the pocket, and I turn here. Now notice that I can get to side mount, or I can get to kind of a position where she's turned and I can establish my seatbelt control. So we'll talk a little bit about that in a bit. So, one more. Underhook, leg up, drop it and spin. So drop it at the same time and then spin all the way over the head, getting to the other side. Sometimes you end up in a scarf kind of position, which is okay. But typically, if I rotate back to side control, there's an opportunity to go for the underhook again, leg open, and spin from over here, okay? If I clear the arm, I can maintain side control here. If I leave the arm out of the way, okay, she's kind of in the middle here between giving me the back or giving me the side control, all right? So, if we get to, let's turn turning into this position, as if I got here already. Okay. So if I get here, okay, I do my spin, everything's great, nice and tight. I can reach here and get my seatbelt control. So there are two ways to do this. I can literally grab my own hand for the seatbelt, okay? Or I can grab collars. So I can grab behind the neck here, 4 fingers in, and I can grab the far side collar with this left hand. So left hand on the collar. So this collar with the left hand and right behind the neck with the right hand. So this mimics a seatbelt control, as I have control. So as I have control over the head and I have control over the collar. And my knee here, I like to post behind the back, and my leg posted so that I can stop her from coming back to side control if that's an option that she starts to fight for. So she knows maybe a back take or an attack is coming here. A lot of people will fight to go back to side control, and this knee behind the back here is going to stop her from going back into side control. But if she does, it's not the worst thing in the world. I can just be here in scarf or a normal side control. Okay? So do it again. Just do a spin again. So I'm here, almost side mount, block the hip, leg up, and turn. Come over here. Keep the arm out of my way. Establish seatbelt control. Okay, option A that I like to do from here is I'm going to go for a back take immediately. So I replace this knee that's behind the back with my right knee. So I have my seatbelt control. This knee comes here, behind the back. The other foot gets posted. Okay, so I'm going to turn around so I can show you what this looks like. Yeah, but turn that way. So my leg is behind the back. Okay, and my left foot is posted over here. Very important at this point to realize what my arms are going to do. My elbows are not just going to lay down here on the ground and take rest. I'm going to pull my right elbow, that's the bottom hand that's being gripped. I'm going to pull it over my leg. So that creates a little bit more control. So I was tight before, no problems. But if I pull over the knee here, it makes it a little bit more tight. Okay? More control and more pressure on my opponent. The next bit here is how we actually get to the back, how we get the hooks in, how we start attacking, if you're looking for back control. Okay? Now, a lot of people like to use this leg that's behind to step over and get the first hook. Okay? I don't like this. I don't like throwing the leg over and stepping, because there's a huge opportunity for my opponent to catch it in midair and lock me inside the half guard. Lock me inside the half guard. Yeah. So as I'm throwing my leg over, she catches half guard, and then we don't have back control anymore because she can use it to sweep me. All right. So if I'm here and I have this leg behind, okay, I'm going to show you the two ways: the ways of getting this hook in, and the ways of getting the hook near the head in first, or near the seatbelt side first. So I'm going to sit her up, and I'm going to do it sideways. So I'm not pulling back; I'm sitting her up towards the middle here. As soon as there's space, I'm going to kick my leg forward, and then I'm going to throw it in to where the hook is, right there. So now I have the hook and the seatbelt on the same side. I'm going to fall down into the pillow of death position, where I can easily start attacking the chokes, same way as we did the other day. So I can be in half back here, I can lock against the hips, okay? Or I can just insert the outside leg and make the second hook, okay? So let's say she's defending the second hook really well, okay? I'm not gonna get it by just doing cowboy style. Yeah, exactly. She'll block it very easily, okay? And then, yeah, cause problems for me. So best way for me to do it is to insert my leg right between the hip and the thigh. So I go here, stealth mode. Insert, now you have two hooks if you're looking for points. If you're not, then you can just keep the foot here on the outside or locked up in the half back position. Just do that again.
Same and like that?
Yeah, keep your
Like
yeah,
this?
please turn there. So I establish my seatbelt. Yeah. So I establish my seatbelt control, okay, and I switch my knees. 1, 2. Pull my elbow over my knee. Now I'm going to sit her up sideways. Here, kick my foot through. 1, hook, and then lay back down on the same side as the hook. All right. Other hook can come in. Insert stealth mode, or you can go into half back mode here, and you can start attacking immediately. Very important, guys, is to keep the seatbelt control very tight. So not only because I'm grabbing my wrists here does not mean that the control is tight. I need to be pressed against my opponent's chest, okay? And eliminate any space there is for her to get her hands in and block or escape, get the head out, okay? Oh, hope everybody saw that, okay? Nice checking in the comments.
Someone's saying Kimura. It's coming up. Kimura is coming up.
Who said Kimura?
A friend of mine. A non-jiu-jitsu friend of mine.
Non-jiu-jitsu.
Good stuff, Safe.
What's up, Isadora? How are you, Penguin?
Isadora! Pinguino! We miss you.
What's up, brother?
Sarah! Hi, Sarah.
Jiu-Jitsu Saratosa. Hope you're doing well, my man.
Renzi, we picked very safe moves for you guys.
Renzi's online?
Yeah.
Good.
Renzi told me today that she would have wanted
You
to
move
be
the
a
camera
cop.
a bit to the left, please. Oh yeah, sure, Rio. So left is your left or my left? This way, that way.
I don't know.
I really don't know. But I think
I'm
he's
a bit dyslexic when it comes to
I
directions.
think he's talking.
But listen, Renzi told me today that she would have wanted to be a cop. So
Really?
maybe you should learn some jiu-jitsu, Renzi. Cops
Hadreen
know
Rio.
jiu-jitsu. Yalla, babe. Let's
Yeah,
go.
yalla. Lahza, I have a question. Can we please see the back take again? Yes, you can. What do you mean radiologic left, my right? Doctor, come on, speak English. Is it in the right position or not? I'll move back so everybody can see.
I think they want us to move it pointing more that way because we ended up close to here.
Or we can start moving.
We can start more here, yes.
Start moving more here.
Yes.
Yeah, will work.
Okay.
Okay, so over here, everybody can see? I think so, I can see. So I'm in here, grabbing my seatbelt, okay? Left knee behind the back. I have nice tight control. I gotta switch my knees. Boom, here. I pull my arm over my knee, here. So here's on the ground, I pull it over my knee. And I sit her up sideways, kick the leg, hook, and then we lay down on the choking side, or the pillow of death side. Alright? Here you can lock half back, or you can insert the second hook. You have to go in through the hips. Can't go cowboy style like that. It doesn't work too well. Okay? But here, half back is a good position anyway to start attacking and finishing the choke. So, Endo, hope you got to see that. Let me know if this position is okay, guys. Dr. Yusri, radiologic left.
Huh?
Ah.
I think it's correct.
ابراهيم ممكن نعمل حركة الخنق من هنا يعني ممكن تمسك حدا بالخنقة وتخلص عليه الشوك يعني من هناك اوكي بس بفضل انك تجيب الهوك قبل ما تعمل الخنق يعني I prefer guys Ibrahim was asking if you can go for a choke right away from there you can but I prefer that you get a hook in at least one hook before you start attacking the choke I prefer not to attack chokes without hooks. Send your request to be in your live. Who's this?
Try to look at my phone too, because you have some people asking questions there too, but not now.
Welcome, Tendo. Now it's okay?
Yeah, I checked them now.
Oh, cool, perfect. So, next up, I'm gonna use the same position, okay, to create different opportunities for submission. Okay, so the exact same position. I just want to make sure of one detail for you guys. Face your head this way. Right, so. When I'm here, okay, perfect. So when I'm here, I have my knee here behind the back to stop it from turning, and I switch to go for the back take. Okay, my right knee does come in here, right behind her neck, but I need to make sure that my shin is washed up against her back. So I can't do the switch, and my leg is back here. It has to be right there. So in line, shin has to be in line with the back. Make sense? So knee behind the neck. And foot behind the lower back, so to speak, okay? And I'm here, and the other leg is posted right behind the hips. So when I pull up and I get my position, okay, the hook is very, very close to it. My leg is here, okay? It's very hard to get the hook in from that position, all right? So next.
Okay.
Wonderful. Okay, so I'm gonna start in the same position here. I'm sideways. Okay, so option A obviously for me is to go for the back from here. Option B is for me to start attacking from the same position. Okay, so إبراهيم راح تشوف هون في حركة خنق بدون ما ناخذ الباك. Okay, بس التكنيك تبعها شوي غير. The technique is a little bit different if we go for a submission from here. So option A for me is to go for Ezekiel choke with the gi. All right. So yeah. So what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna switch my seat belt grip. So whereas before the hand that was underneath the head, okay, is the one that was being grabbed. So right hand under the head, I was grabbing this hand because this is the one that needs to be pulled in front of the head to do the choke. Okay. For this move, we're gonna switch the grip so that I pull the top arm and I extend it through as deep as I possibly can. So I switch the grip and I grab my left arm. Okay, and I'm gonna pull it through as much as I can. So it's like I'm pushing my shoulder all the way in front of my opponent's face, and my hand reaches back here. Okay, way back behind your neck.
They need to see me
Right.
on the other side. Right?
Yeah. So just put your head this way.
Uh,
أيوة. لا خلينا ماسك هيك.
okay. Okay.
So, watch here. This is first seatbelt position, second seatbelt position. I switch my hand and I pull my arm through here. So in no-gi, I can very well do a head and arm choke from here. I just have to block the shoulder, clasp my hands, pull my opponent down to the mat, and go hips down. Here I'm going to start squeezing and just make sure that I'm blocking her shoulder with my hand. Keep your head low and you squeeze here and you get a nice submission. Okay? What we're going to show you today as an option from the gi is the Ezekiel. So with my free hand, I'm going to grab the inside of my sleeve, four fingers in if you can. Some people prefer 3, I prefer 4. And then with the other hand, I'm just going to bring it over here and just place it on top of my opponent's shoulder. Okay? So I have 4 fingers inside the gi. This one is on top of the shoulder. And now I'm going to switch my knees as if I'm going for the back take. So I switch my knees as if I'm going for the back take. Alright? And I pull my opponent up just a little bit. Now with my right arm, I'm going to pull my elbow towards my chest and get a nice choke in this position. One more time. So here, seatbelt position, switch, pull the arm through, grab inside my sleeve. You're allowed to grab inside your own sleeve. Okay, this is a nice, important info. If it's your opponent's sleeve, you're not allowed to grab inside, but your own sleeve is okay. So I get my arms here, right in front of the shoulder, and I switch my feet. Exactly the same way as if I was going for the back take, and then I pull my left elbow towards my chest. Which elbow? This guy. So I pull this guy towards my chest, and I use the other hand to just stop the neck here at the shoulder. Okay? So it looks like this, where I'm stopping the shoulder in one hand, and pulling my elbow to my chest with the other hand. Okay? Very important detail here is when you're grabbing here and you want to pull the other arm towards your chest, make sure that your wrist is straight. Okay, so a lot of times people grab this and by the time they get to the position, the wrist starts to look like that.
Hello everyone.
Okay, so if the wrist looks like that while you're trying to pull your elbow to your chest, you're going to hurt your wrist. Okay, so I prefer to keep your wrist always nice and straight. So nice and straight wrist, no matter what, keep the wrist straight so that when you pull it, you keep it nice and secure. No battery. No battery.
Okay.
It's okay. Oh, welcome guys. Let's see what I got here. Hey Zakaria, كيفك? Carlos Tadros, thank you sir. أشكرك سوبرمان الحبيب. Miss you man.
Miss you, Superman. And Aurora.
Very nice position. You've probably seen this quite a bit, haven't you? So, I'm going to continue now. So that was the first point of attack that I like to use. And the second one is...
Which way?
Same one I think would be okay.
I forgot.
The working warnings.
Which way?
So if you lay down here... Actually, yeah, like this is okay. Just face that way. Let's go back.
Okay.
Okay, so option 2, I'm in the same position. I have grabbing the seat belt and I'm here. I always need to keep that back leg posted. Okay, if my knee is down, it won't help me keep her in position. Okay, it's easier for them to go back to side now. But if I have this leg, my right leg for support, it's harder for them to go back. So, point number 2, if I'm not going for head and arm or for the Ezekiel that I just did, okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to let go of the seatbelt control and I'm going to hug the top arm here, right at the bicep. So, cup right at the bicep here, and I pull my elbow back in towards me. This limits my opponent's movement of the same arm. Now once I'm ready, I pull this arm back and I reach right on top of my opponent's head, and I grab her wrist and I grab my own wrist. So I get my Kimura trap or Kimura control. Now once I'm here, it's going to be pretty simple. I want to spin on this knee that's behind her back. I'll show you from a different angle in a bit. And I'm going to step over to the other side. So I'm here, I spin and I step over. You can do 2 steps if you like. And I like to step right next to my opponent's hip. And I end up in my Kimura position. Lift up with my entire body, not just with my arms.
Your knees in the way.
It's okay. I'll do it from a different position a bit. So if I was here, I lift with my entire body, not just with my arms. Because sometimes they'll be defending, grabbing the belt, their hands, etc. Okay? And I need to be lifting with my entire body so that even if they're grabbing control of something, okay, I can still get my submission if I turn the arm behind the back. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do this from a bit of a different angle so you guys can see. Let's try this angle. Here? No. No.
This angle.
Huh?
This angle.
This might work. Seat belt. I go for cupping the bicep, and I like to pull my elbow in towards me because here there's still plenty of room for her to move her arm. So I pull my arm back here, my elbow behind her back. So I reach here, grab the wrist, grab my own wrist, and I'm just going to spin, 1, 2, step over, pin the elbow to my chest, and then I lift everything, and I go to attack the Kimura. Okay? Don't just here while the elbow is loose, try to get the arm behind the back. There's much more room to play for the joint if you don't pin the elbow. If I pin the elbow to my chest, all I have to do is move a little bit, and then the attack is there. Okay? Did everybody see that okay? Let's check.
There's a question on mine.
Let's see.
Is there a question or what?
Yeah, thank you. This is not easy. It requires a lot of power.
Actually, no, it doesn't require any power.
I don't think it requires power. I'm happy to show you. I'm happy to show you a rule I demonstrated on me while I'm like making grips and everything. And I'll also give you options for if you think you're using too much power to break your opponent's grip and try to get the Kimura. Okay, so first I'll have her do it, and then you can kind of see.
You do it?
Yeah.
Starting from the back.
Yeah, just start here.
Okay, so here.
Seat belt.
So first seat belt. Okay, then I get the Kimura grip.
Bicep.
Oh.
Pull back.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the Kimura grip.
Yes.
Okay. After I get the Kimura grip, I'm gonna spin over, and then he's gonna make some grips. I'm gonna have to attach my. So the trick is, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Thabit. The trick is, even if it's hard to pull it out, I can go close because with my whole body I can pull it out, but with my arms it's hard. So as a small person, what I would do is go down and bring him all up with my own body, and there he goes. Even if he's still holding on a little bit, hold on to something, it's kind of.
Steady.
Yeah.
Okay, go back to the position. Make sure. So guys, few things here. Make sure the back knee is down. So the knee that is against my back is laid down, so I can't like turn back, okay, and put myself in side mount.
This back knee here.
Yes.
I can't see it.
Yeah. So and then the right foot here, I like to post it next to the hip. So
Here?
post this next to the hip, exactly. And now she's sitting on my head, literally sitting on my head. And what that does is, as she sits on my head and pins my elbow to her chest, right here. She pins the elbow to her chest and puts all the weight on my head. Now she lifts up with her whole body and just turns my arm to the back. Even if I'm grabbing something, it's going to be super hard and I'll still feel the pain. So I'll show you something else. If I'm grabbing the belt and she goes for the same move, okay, all she has to do is rotate my arm around the belt. You shouldn't have to break my grip. So go ahead, rotate my arm behind, yeah, exactly. And then you still get a submission out of this. Okay? Option B. If all the above doesn't work and you still feel like you're struggling here, it's so simple for my opponent to backstep out of this, and go back here where she's controlling the arm, and switch back to seat belt, or switch back to attacking immediately. I would grab seat belt and attack the Ezekiel, or to go over the back take, something else. It's very simple to switch between these two positions without hurting yourself. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So I thought it was an okay demonstration. Well, I finally got to know how. Awesome. I did some resistance, I promise. I resisted well. But if you sit on someone's head and try to yank their shoulder out, it's very, very hard to keep somebody's grips there. And even if they do, you'll still get the submission. You'll still get a lot of pressure on the shoulder. You'll get the submission.
This was my point valid about bringing your body close to the elbow and then yanking with your whole body.
You bring the elbow close to your body, so if you lean too much forward, you risk shifting the weight off of the head. But yeah, stick the elbow to your body, but kind of pull it there.
Don't try to go.
Don't lean too much forward, because then the weight is going to shift right there. I've got a bunch of migraine here. Ahmed Yusri, finally, the master of questions returns. Malaka Superman, why do I end up backwards when I do it? I'm sure I'm doing something wrong. Okay, I'll talk about that in a bit. Yep. Where do you guys train? We train at Entropy Jiu-Jitsu. Well, I wish I was wearing gi now, but we train at Entropy Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah, I'm not either.
You're not either? We're wearing it the past 2 days. So it's a gym in Dubai in Al Quoz. I'm happy to share the info with you. If you would like a private message me afterwards.
It's his startup.
Let's see. In case you missed it, I end up falling backwards. What do I? Okay, Superman, I got you. Just a little bit. Are you pulling too much? Well, Doc has some interesting insight. He says you pull too much, you should keep your posture. Let's see. Ahmed Yusri. Please, Kimura grip. To sitting to arm. I got you, buddy. Showing your north leg. Landing position in relation to the opponent's head.
Doc is telling me.
And bottom arm. Thanks. Okay. No.
Doc was telling me I pull too much, I should keep my...
No, he's telling Superman.
Ah, okay.
Okay. Alright guys, so one at a time. Who we got here? Achieve with Ash! What's up, Ashna? Ashna for president, y'all!
Woohoo! We miss you, Ash.
Hope you got that, Ash. Okay guys, so a few things here.
Hey, Aki! Enjoy!
Okay, so first things first, I guess same position, so we'll talk about Superman's falling back situation. Okay. Let me see what the easiest way to do this. Head that way.
Double back. Okay.
Okay, sweet, so here, maybe tilt a little bit this way.
Guys, just so you know, if you haven't seen this before, this is our corona virus attempt of doing jiu-jitsu. So stay tuned every day at 7 o'clock.
So I'm here in my Kimura grip position, okay? First I need to make sure that where I post, okay, and where I position my body, Superman, is it keeps me in good position, okay? So sometimes I see people like posting the foot like really close to the head, and I start yanking here or being in a squat position. Some people like to be here in a squat position while they try to get the Kimura, and they start yanking back, okay, and then you start falling off of balance and falling back. So I see this happening quite a bit. If I keep the back knee down against the back to stop her from going back flat on her back, okay, this stops her from turning, okay. Now the other foot, if I'm grabbing the shoulder, obviously stops her from turning. Now the other foot, okay, and where I position it next to the hip for a couple of reasons. So next to the hip is important, okay, because it's easier for me to sit into my hips on top of my opponent's head. Okay. Now there comes a point where you feel like this is not a yielding dividend. Okay, the guy has ridiculous strong grips, and you feel like this isn't the right thing for you to do. Okay, so we're in here just so you see this from a sideways kind of position. From here, and hips over the head. Obviously, I'm not going to squish my wife's head today, but you should be very, very heavy on your opponent's head so that when you pull up, either the grip breaks or your grip, right? Either grip breaks or grab your hand, right? Or you just get close enough to the point of pain or point of pressure on the shoulder that it doesn't matter if she's gripping something or not. Okay. 2. If you're here, Superman, I'm gonna be sitting into my hips. Okay, like kind of like squatting with one leg, and then when I pull with my upper body, so I don't do so much pulling backwards. Okay, I pin the elbow to my chest and I like lift. It's kind of like you're lifting the shoulder from its position. Okay. Get more of it. Okay. Perfect. See in that position. Okay. So we're in here. Knee behind the back. I'm on my toes. I like to be on my toes. Again, something else that happens. A lot of people like to sit here and shoelace their foot to the mat. This is where most of the time people fall down because you don't have enough of a base to keep you where you are, and a little bit of wiggling from your personal body would just throw you overboard. Okay. So I like to keep active toes, knees behind the back, and I'm here, pinning the elbow to my chest, and then even if she grabs her belt, I just pull it up, and it's enough pain to where they're gonna tap. The grip doesn't help too much. Also, if she's grabbing the belt, I can just steering wheel the arm around the other side and get my nice little submission. Okay. Blue belts and above, for sure you can wrist lock people from here. So if you're grabbing her other arm. You're grabbing her other arm, for sure you can switch to a wrist lock here, like hand over the wrist, hand over the wrist here, and try to attack the wrist lock to make them let go or tap, and for all that matter. Okay. The next thing I'm going to show you guys is just because Superman asked about base and everything, I'm going to show you why I step my foot close to the hip. Okay. So I'm here, the foot is close to the hip, because typically as soon as I do this to defend, people, most of the time they grab their hands to defend. And people don't trust the gi or their belt or anything to defend. So they're either grabbing right here over the shin or over the knee. If they got freakishly long arms, they grab here. Okay? Most times it might happen here, depending on your opponent's arm length. Okay? So if I get to, I'm skiing the bottom.
Why wouldn't we do it? I would do it like this.
Because you wouldn't have space to pull it in between your legs. Like, I'm here. I'm not going to let you go back there. So I'm here, and the only place really for them to go is to grab over the legs. Now if I'm here, here's where things get a little interesting. I'm going to pull, I'm going to get my right hand, grab the sleeve here, and I'm going to lay down on this side, on my left side, okay? And I'm going to kick my leg right underneath and lock my legs into what you're going to see is a very, very nice reverse triangle position. So I lay down here, make them think they're going to come up, I pull her over, and I lock my legs here. So my legs now are putting her in a reverse triangle position. And when I grab here, I can pull the sleeve close to me as much as I like and make sure that my legs make a figure 4. As I start to squeeze, it's going to be very hard for my opponent to resist the choke. But even if they do, I have, this arm is free and I can wrist lock this so easily, okay? It's very easy to wrist lock one hand without resistance, okay? And this one is just going to pull it and squeeze on the choke until they tap. Alright? Let me see feedback from there.
Hello everybody.
هلا والله هلا والله هلا والله بالشعب العربي. Simon, how are you, man?
طارق قواسمي is on mine.
طارق قواسمي الوحش. Okay, read Ash's message. Literally two of my favorite BJJ people. Oh, how you guys continue.
Who's that?
Ash. Training and teaching
hi Ash now.
during these times. No quitting ever, Ash. دكتور مصطفى كيف حالك يا أخوي؟ هات لنشوف. So what about the early defense and late defense for that type of Kimura? Can you elaborate on early defense and late defense for the
like
Kimura?
Before you spin,
So before I spin, Doctor?
that's early, and late is when you get the position.
Every day at 7 p.m. Yeah, we're here too, Ash. I'll wait for Doctor's response. Thank you. And yes, I pull
I'll get rid of my
all
hair
the way
so it
backward,
doesn't,
not upward.
rip it
Try
all
this for
up.
sure. Try this, yeah, Superman.
I
Yeah,
already
Ash.
lost a few hairs there.
This position works on like
around.
5 different levels. I love it. I love it too, Ash.
That's it. Just getting rid of my
Can
hair.
white belts wrist lock? Definitely not,
Not.
Tendo. Definitely not. Especially not in competitions. So in trainings, it depends on the academy you train in. So Tendo you train with us, so white belts cannot wrist lock. and in tournaments they can't. So it's blue belts and above that can do wrist locks in tournaments. So I prefer that you get used to what you can do. Stick reverse triangle. I have to try this out soon. Superman, you have no idea. This reverse triangle is so hot. It works almost every time.
I hate reverse triangles. My legs are not long enough.
You got questions there?
No. We're good here, right? Any questions, guys? Nope, we're fine.
Awesome. Okay, Yusri, I got you. So, we're in this position. Lay down right there. You got some buttons. So, fortunately for you, Abu Ali, Luwash, once I'm here, okay, instead of going, I like to go, if I'm going for armbar, I like to go for it all at once, but I'll show you 2 different ways. So I'll show you how to go for it from the beginning, like actually with intent going for the arm, and then if I started going for the Kimura and then decided I want to go for the armbar, so I'll show you 2 separate ways. Cool. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so let's say I'm in here, exact same early position that I was in, grabbing my seatbelt, and I switch here. I love this position, cupping the arm and pulling the elbow back. It's a lot of control over the shoulder. All right, and I'm gonna reach and grab my Kimura trap anyway. Okay, even if I'm going for the armbar. Now, here's what's gonna happen. I turn as if I'm gonna go for the Kimura. Okay, as if I'm gonna go for the Kimura, and I like to put my foot here under the armpit. So remember how I sit next to the hip for the Kimura? This one I just go past the arm. Okay, and as I sit back down, my knee that was behind the back, I lift it up so that the shin gets into the pocket of the armpit. Okay, so I'm here and I sit. Yeah. So
they need to see that.
I'll turn with it. So this foot is here, right below the armpit. Okay. This knee, this shin is here, right in the crease of the other armpit. Okay. So you're fitting here. Hug. You're in your Kimura grip still. Okay. And this foot is here under the armpit. Now all you gotta do is pinch the knees and change the grip or hug to where you can finish the armbar here, also nice and tight, or blue belts, wrist block as you wish. Okay. So if we, yes, exactly. Let's do that again. So here, pull the arm in, Kimura grip, step over, under the armpit. I prefer. Now I just come up here and sit back down. I keep the Kimura grip so I can pull my opponent close to me because it yanks on the shoulder and it closes the distance that you have here. Now you just got to pinch the knees before you walk back, pull your weight back and finish your armbar position. Okay? Now, if I have Kimura and I'm here, I step over and I'm working it, and maybe it's too tight or her grip is ridiculously strong, I'm just not getting there, okay, with my Kimura. So instead of going for a reverse triangle, okay, you're going to do the exact same thing, because when I stepped over for the Kimura, I stepped next to the hip, which just so happens to be under the armpit. Which just so happens to be under the armpit, okay? So even if she's here and controlling both hands, no problem for me, okay? I'm just going to sit up a little bit so that this knee, this shin on this side gets right into the crease of the armpit. So I just sit up here, and I'm in yay position. Now I can, again, pull the arm towards me, and I can work on breaking the grip as I choose, whichever one you like. Okay? Break this grip, and then start attacking the arm. Where's yours 3? Under the armpit, gotcha. I know that was your question, but everybody else needed...
Hi guys.
Yeah, before spinning. Okay, Dr. Mustafa, before spinning and after. نعم قلنا. هلا كوتش وسام. يعطيك الصحة حبيبي. You're welcome, حبوب. Dr. Mustafa, defense for the Kimura before spinning and after. So let me see if I got this right. So, put me in the Kimura. So right here.
So you like
right. So from here, if I start defending, okay, this is before spinning, okay. And if I start defending here, like grabbing my hands, okay. If I grab my hands here, which is like early for you guys, or considered early, okay. Most of the time, if she tries to step over here, she can still step over with her foot next to my hip. Right, she still do that. It doesn't put me in a very good position, okay? Maybe it wasn't apparent with me and her because my legs are really long. But even if I keep grabbing my hands here, it's not a very good position for me. So if she sits on my head like I just showed you guys and pins the elbow to the chest and pulls the shoulder, no way, Okay, it's very, very hard. So that's if I keep gripping there. Okay, and then after the spinning, we covered it here a little bit. So if you go for the move, right, and then and let's say I'm here and I grab my belt. This is before, right? So spin, right? If you get here and then I grab the belt here, right? I grab my own belt and I'm not letting go for dear life. Okay, this is where she can go for this tactical way of prying the kimura apart or guiding my hand behind my back while I'm grabbing the belt. She can just guide it to the back here, and I'm feeling a lot of pressure already. So that's 1 and 2. If it's not working, or I'm grabbing my pants, my gi, whatever you want, then she can easily switch to a reverse triangle. So you grab the wrist on this side, the sleeve, sorry, and you fall down that way. Right. Keep the leg through. Put me in a reverse triangle. Right, now it's super horrible, and she can squeeze until I choke, or she can wrist lock this hand. That. I hope you could hear me while I was being choked. Good stuff, guys. Welcome, welcome, one and all. I'll be sure to post this on the story afterwards. So you guys can see how we started and where we ended up. But Doctor, let me know if I answered your question, Dr. Mustafa, and everybody else. If you have any other questions or particular questions about what you saw or about different parts of that position, I'm happy to go through it. So we did, from that position, we did taking the back, that's A game, like option A for me anyway. And then we did Ezekiel choke, we did Kimura, and we did armbar. Okay. So if you put the back take aside, you have a nice triple threat here. You have Ezekiel, Kimura, and armbar. حبيبي انت البست يا دكتور والله مشتاق لك. Hope everybody's coping well during these times. I know it's not easy, definitely not easy to not carry on your normal life, train, but I find that it's what you do with what you have, with the time that you have. Okay, so these circumstances were given to us. Obviously, we didn't choose them, but how we handle them, okay, how we handle ourselves during these times of adversity is what's going to define us. So this is why I'm choosing to give you guys my very best, my absolute best every day at 7 p.m. just like I would if you were on the mats with me here at Entropy. So
nice.
Everybody there okay?
I think so.
No cues?
That's Lean.
Hi Lean.
Hi Tali, we miss you.
How long have we been on? How long have we been on?
We've been on for 50 minutes.
Oh really? Oh, okay. In that case,
5 minutes.
In that case, if nobody else has questions, I'm gonna go over a few solo drills that I think you guys should know about. And for sure, if you have mats, it would be great. Okay, but these are things that you could hopefully do alone, even if you have just a piece of yoga mat. So it doesn't require so much space, but it's definitely beneficial.
محموش.
مود حافظ.
We miss you.
مود ده بالك عايش؟ والله وحشنا يا زلمه انت. اقسم بالله ما بيطلع لك تغيب عني لهالدرجه. Hi Lola, how are you, sweetie?
Princess Lola.
Champion Princess Lola.
Big champion.
Okay, so check this out. You can walk me do with me and solo drills. So you can do it with me. So for solo drills, guys, most of these look like the moves that you would do like in class for warm up. Okay, but since you might be limited on space and maybe you don't have a glorious mini academy over here like I do, and it might be hard to get all that distance covered. Okay, so doing small things is going to make a big difference for you. All right, so if we start with normal movements that you typically see in warm up, okay, maybe you don't have enough space to do a double leg, like you'll go into a table, hit the cabinet, or everything. But you do have enough space to do so many other things, okay. So I'll start with something super simple, and we'll go to it from there. I hope you guys take note of all this. So if I start standing and I get on the mat with my hands and I walk all the way forward into a push-up position. So we call these inchworm push-ups. Now typically in the academy I come up and I start walking with my legs, I come up and then I do it again. But if you're confined to your space, I can just start here, walk forward, push up, walk back with my hands. This is great. This is glorious. Okay? Walk forward here, do a push up, okay? And walk back with my hands. Simultaneously, okay? If I get here and I'm in my push up position, I can walk with my legs, okay? And I don't have to keep walking forward. I can just walk back with my legs, do a push up again. Walk forward with my legs, walk back with my legs into a plank, do a push up again. And I can walk back with my hands. So a combination of these won't take so much space from you, okay? But you get a very good workout in. Like you work out your legs, your upper body as well, okay? Simple stuff like scooting forward and back. So get into your position, lean on one side, scoot forward, okay? You don't have so much space, okay, fine. Scoot back. So let's say you only have a little bit of space, like yoga mat space, okay? Then pull forward and back. Other side, forward and back, and forward and back, and forward and back, okay? So you can do this by counts of 10, 20, or for time. For time is great, especially if you don't have the ability to measure space. Like, oh, so much length that I can do, oh, okay, 20 reps or 30 reps. So put it for time. So put a minute and a half of these drills. Pull forward, push back, pull forward, push back. It goes a very, very long way. That's our skipping. So that's one. And of course, I know forward and backward rolling is easier said than done for so many people. So, but if you do have that space or the luxury of that space, what I would do is I wouldn't go like forward roll like somersault. I go over my shoulder. So I go forward roll into a backward roll, and I try to keep it cool and not hit any furniture on the way, hopefully. So I put my arm in through here, roll over the shoulder, end up here. I get into this position, okay, and I'm gonna roll over the opposite shoulder, going back, from here, all the way there. So you go forward roll into a backward roll, and I can do the other side. Arm through, roll forward, now over the shoulder, roll back. So you get a few reps in like that. You don't need a huge amount of space. If you do have the space, I would recommend that you stretch your body out completely as you're doing a backward roll. So let's say I'm here and I'm doing a backward roll. As I get back here, okay, I get to this position and I just stretch my legs all the way here. Now I can pull my knees to my chest and do a forward roll again. I can do a backward roll, stretch, extend my body all the way back, and then tuck my head in, put my knees to my chest, and roll forward. Okay, a great exercise for you guys to make as a solo drill. So this is all without using a partner, without using a piece of equipment or anything. So I'll cover a few more with the time that we have with us today. So if I'm on all fours, okay, we're used to doing this in warm-up, where we walk forward or back, and then we do here, we're in sit-outs, okay? Here in sit-out mode. So if I'm on all fours, I pull my elbow to the ceiling, and I kick the opposite side leg forward, boom, in sit-out position, and then back, sit-out, sit-out. You can do alternating on both sides as you please. In the academy, we're used to doing it as we're walking. So in position, you can do so much, and then as you get better at this particular one, you can extend it. You can make it a little bit more advanced. So instead of just going here, okay, I'm going to turn completely, post my other hand on the mat, and kick this leg forward, like extended leg. It's a good position for you guys to practice. You can hold here for a few seconds if you like, and then go back. Boom. Other side. Come back here. Come back here. And control yourself so your butt doesn't hit the mat, and you can just come back into the position you were in before. Wonderful stuff, right? For the next part, let me see if we have what we have that I can use, like a cushion.
You don't want to use me?
No, low battery.
اللي فيها نيوم بلي وهيك.
Yeah, فيها. فيها. بدل ما تستعمل. Okay.
Use a cushion for that. I don't want to be near.
No, we're not doing نيوم بلي. I'm gonna show you guys. No, it's okay. I'll think about it next. I'm gonna show you guys something else. I'm gonna show you guys something else. If you're a guard player or not, okay, this could be something interesting for you to try at home, just by yourself. Okay, if I have you know, a normal gi top, okay? There doesn't have to be a person there, okay? Don't worry about it. So it can be a normal gi top, and you can use this to practice. You can use this to practice your grips, your spider guard, your lasso guard, okay? There's not a better time for you to practice these things than to use one of your own gis. So you can pretend like somebody's arm is there, boom, and you're in here. I don't know if people can see this. Let me just scoop forward a little bit.
Oh.
Boom. There. So you have somebody's gi. Pretend like you're fighting somebody here, okay? And you can play your spider. Switch your hips. Switch your hips. Okay? Maintain good grips. So pretend like somebody's holding them here. Okay? I like to keep always one extended and one bent. I pinch with my toes. Not many people do this, but I like to pinch with my toes on what should be the guy's bicep or his elbow crease. Okay? And pull my elbows close to my legs. Okay? It's a good practice. So your opponent doesn't step on them and break your guard later on. So as I turn the other way, I escape my hips a little bit. And my tension on the gi is what's going to help me. So here, okay? You can extend this one, okay? And start playing your lasso if you choose to, okay? If you want to switch things up here, I know there's no human weight, so it's very hard for you guys to imagine this. If I pull this a little bit further away, position your feet as you choose. I can come in here and start working my lasso, okay? So pretend it's somebody's arm. Here we're doing lasso, okay? If the person's elbow is here, I can be pulling them into a triangle. Here. Get back into spider. Push them away. Maybe it's not enough distance. Get your foot. Sweep. Get your foot close to the shoulder, and then again you're here in lasso mode, okay? Practice bringing everything down here. You can do omoplata drills, I think, but it might be a little bit too hard for you guys to imagine and visualize there. So keep your, I can be in lasso, nice and deep. You can bring it back into spider guard if you choose to, okay? This is always very nice to play with one's own gi, even if you don't have a willing participant to practice spider and lasso with. You might feel your grips tight, but that's okay. Hey, it's practice anyway. As long as we're not able to make it to the academy, this is making use of your time and of your gis that you haven't been wearing for a while. So I hope that gave you guys some nice insight as to what you could do, whether by yourself or with a partner. And I plan on working. Coach,
Hi Hanadi.
Streaming for.
Hello guys.
Oh Lola, great minds think alike.
What did she say?
She said she did streaming before and she did the same exercise. So I said, great minds think alike. So I plan on giving you guys more solo drills to practice with, maybe tomorrow. So I'll find ways of doing the different drills that I would do with with a BJJ dummy or with a punching bag. Maybe I'll get one of those over here, like a boxing bag, and I'll show you the different drills that I do just to keep your guys sharp, to keep your mind sharp and to keep your body sharp as well. But a very important thing that I realize, and many of the world's best jiu-jitsu athletes have been talking about this. It's during times when you can't train for whatever reason, right? Normally, if you can't train, you're injured, you're sick, you're traveling, work is too demanding, etc., etc., etc. It pays a lot to keep your mind engaged. So go out there and study videos, okay? Not just my videos. So go out there and, there's a lot of amazing content out there that many of the world's best athletes are giving up for free these days, because we're not able to get to our academies. So go out there and study as much as you possibly can and digest that content. Imagine what you would do if you were there, right?
I would say also maybe watch some fights and analyze them.
That too. Right? That too. That's a great idea. If you have access to many of the channels, or YouTube has many of those fights already. So watch the fights, analyze them, see if you can predict what's going to happen next if you haven't seen that fight before, or what you would do if you were in that position. So it's amazing what it can do to your game if you just keep your mind plugged in, and then try to do some of these solo drills if it's just you at home. If you have your significant other, they're close to you and they're willing and able to let you practice some jiu-jitsu, then that's a great idea for you guys. But our time is almost up, so I'm going to take this opportunity to thank everybody that was here today before the video ends.
Thank you guys.
Thank you for joining us. I hope you enjoyed the techniques, and we'll be here tomorrow. I mean, it's Friday, so it's not a work day, but If we are gonna go online sooner than 7 p.m., I'll be sure to message you guys. But 7 p.m. seems like a good time, so we'll keep our appointment the same unless I say otherwise. Thank you so much. Stay safe and us.
Bye guys, good night, have a good weekend.